Right, right.
What happened during that point in time? I was blind to it.
Got it. Understood. Yeah, I see where you're coming from. Trust me. I know because I was trying to issue someone a citation over there and I didn't see any of what happened.
God.
I don't know what I'm watching.
A bunch of Muppets being Muppets is what you're watching.
Yeah. Okay, so what vehicle were the materials that were being sold in?
They were in the Glendale that's parked on the red line over there.
Okay. I'm going to check it just to see if there's anything in it. One moment.
Yeah, they might put them back in.
All right. All right, so just a heads up, the individual, sort of like the hippie dude with the backpack and green jacket, he did allow me to search his person. There were no materials of any sort on him. So, from my understanding, the only two people in the immediate proximity were that person and the individual in the white shirt and suspenders. Yeah, keep that in mind.
Make sure you get an ID from Cy Cunningham, just for paper purposes.
And for be advised, I wasn't able to properly identify the individual in the green jacket. He does not know how to read. In addition, he doesn't have a phone. He goes by Beef. I know how to get a hold of him if needed. I know his typical spots. So.
10-4. Okay.
All right. It's Mr. Cunningham, correct?
It is, yeah, indeed, yeah.
Mr. Cunningham, do you have any identification with you?
Yeah, it should be in me back pocket.
Okay. Are you opposed to me grabbing that just so I can document? Okay. All right.
You know,
go ahead.
I do, as I said, and I do have some of the materials on me. Is
Yep.
So just to clarify.
Do you know exactly the quantity of materials that you had obtained versus what was stolen, like what you expected, or was it a matter of like they were going to show up with materials and then you were going to be like, okay, well, this is the price?
He told me he had around 600 to sell, but then told me he didn't want to sell me to steal. So I was in the process of taking them out and adding it up, so I could get the correct amount, so I didn't shortchange him or pay too much. So I think it was 2 lots of material for around about 200 and something, I think it was, that I got. And then the others just sort of, I saw the hands coming over my shoulder, and then the rest of them got yoinked instantly.
Got it. Okay. All right. Here, I'm just going to go ahead and check that ID just a moment.
So whether or not the 2 fellas trying to sell them to me would, I don't know, trying to pull a fast one, but I don't see why they would do that. It made no sense, so I wasn't going to pay for materials that I wasn't getting.
Any... Oh, my... Ooh. Hold up. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, you're all Robin.
Hey! Hey, you're parked on a red.
Oh, sorry, I'll move the car.
Thank you.
Oh, well, I'm sorry because look at this fucking mess. Where can I park? No
okay. Are you aware that there's a parking lot right behind the bank?
No, actually not. I'm not from America.
Okay. Well, then don't complain when opportunities exist.
I'll complain. It is my right. First Amendment free speech.
Okay. All right. Sure. Hey, slow down.
Sorry, officer.
Thank you.
My bad, officer, my bad.
All right, where are we headed to next?
So there's 3 individuals, but I believe Watt and Fields are taking statements from them. Okay. So, 1 second.
This place is a fucking shit show. This is Senior Buns 2.0.
Yeah, it is. It is. I don't understand. People are throwing fucking deer carcasses at vehicles, and I don't know if hold on one second.
pepper spray.
Okay. All right. What else we got? Hello. All right. Apologies, Mr. Cunningham. There's a million moving parts here. It's a shit show. Do you
Yeah,
still
yeah, I
have the weapon that you utilized?
I should do, yeah. It
Okay.
should be, you know.
Just out of curiosity, how much does the wrench cost?
$250, I believe.
Okay. All right. And the only person you struck with it was the individual in white after he had beat down the two Group 6 individuals, right?
Yeah, the Keanu Reeves looking motherfucker, yeah.
All right.
That's as I
And
said, because he had the wrench and turned at me, so I was like, yeah.
got it.
Watching him
Do
take
you
down 2 people before?
Yeah, do you suspect that the 2 people he beat, like it was very intentional? There weren't and you yourself, it was very intentional. It wasn't just a matter of like, I'm just trying to figure out, you know, the justification behind going for you in addition to the other 2.
I couldn't, as I said, I think with the first one, from my understanding, he's claiming, you know, the guy pulled a knife on him, but obviously I think the guy pulled a knife because he believed he'd stolen materials and was saying, give it back, you know what I mean, you're taking my shit.
Right.
And then I'm guessing he just went off the rails and started beating everybody with a fucking wrench. So, you know, whether or not he was going to come for me or not, I don't know. I'm just, you know, I'm not inclined to give him time to smack me before I fucking answer that question.
Yeah, so just a heads up, this gets incredibly complicated because people cannot defend against theft of property, as crazy as that sounds.
Right.
I mean, obviously you can tell someone not to do something, but this, even if the individual in white ends up being the person who stole something, as fucked up as it sounds legally, the person pulling the knife originally then made the individual in white be able to articulate that he did it in self-defense. And so even if he was originally the aggressor or the person doing wrong, because the knife was pulled over property, this is going to become an absolute shit show where ultimately it may become a matter of everyone gets released and told to go their own way, but an argument could be made for, just to verify, because again, a million things, the Group 6 employees are the ones selling materials, right?
They were, yeah.
Okay, understood. Do you? Yeah, it's fine actually. I don't need their names from you. Okay. If you wouldn't mind, instead of seizing your wrench, because obviously the high cost associated, I'm gonna go ahead and take a photo of it if you wouldn't mind.
Yeah, do what you need to do, officer. Whatever makes your job easier.
Just gonna go ahead and.
Like I said, in my case, I just seen the guy, you know, smack down 2 people with a wrench, and he came at me, so I didn't give him a chance.
100%. At that point, you can very easily articulate, you know, you wanting to protect yourself.
I'd had transpired when I ran across the road to you. I don't have a Scooby, nor am I going to speculate.
Oh, yeah. And just to verify, you used the wrench, not the knife.
I used the wrench, not the knife, yeah.
Understood.
I mean, if you look at it, there'll be claret all over it, so...
All right. Would you be opposed to me taking a photo of the knife as well, just so that, you know, it's...
You can, yeah, as I said, whatever makes your job easier there.
Thank you. There we are. Okay. I'm cleared to release Mr. Cunningham, correct?
Rhodes, can I speak to you really quickly?
Yep.
Alright, so from the information I've gathered, Rhodes, you can cut him loose. He was the most forthcoming person in this whole situation.
He's the one who approached me to inform me of what was going on directly behind me.
Yeah, so what I've gone, just come down to the hospital once you're done there, and then we'll chat here. I'm taking the
Alright, perfect. Now. Alright, 1 second, Alice. Alright, Mr. Cunningham, I am going to go ahead and release you here, okay? Just in the event where I need to contact you, would I be able to get your phone number?
Yeah.
Alright, perfect. Currently wrapping up a scene by the Fleeka at Legion. There is a stabbing, multiple people are beat down, potential theft of materials. We're wrapping it up. We're just clearing up the statements over at the hospital, and then we'll figure out what we're doing. We should be clear now. 77s are no longer required. All right, hit me with that phone number.
Do you want to put me down? You can, put me down as like Cy Cunningham or Mr.
Sure.
Cunningham, whatever's
Yeah.
good for you. And that's SI, by the way, short for Simon.
Got it.
The number would be 420-631-6831.
So 420-631-6831.
Yeah. Pretty easy number, to be honest.
Very easy. It's a repeat.
Yeah,
you
just
just
put an
throw
eight
an
in the middle.
8. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Thank you very much for your compliance, Mr. Cunningham, and thank you
thank
for
you.
letting me know what was going on directly behind me, because I was
Say,
too
you need
busy
me for
with a
anything
group
else.
of people. Also,
Yeah, I understand.
you should move your car.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm gonna get out of here
Thank
now.
you,
know
sir.
what I mean?
Have a great
No
day.
problem. You have a good
All right.
one.
What's up, Alice?
Okay, so I got a report from Zakid. Obviously,
wow.
it was lackluster.
Jesus.
Excuse me, this is a active crime scene. Can you guys park further? Yep, still an active crime scene. Can you reverse out? Drive further down the road.
By the
for
way,
me,
by the
please.
way, can we still get our bags so we can do our job?
Yeah, you can go ahead and get the bags, but I want you to park appropriately
not a
down the
problem,
street
not a
for me.
problem.
Thank you so much. Okay, sorry. Fucking Grimer. Group 6 Grimers, all the same
I'm
damn
allergic
shit.
to this now. This
Um,
and senior buns.
I did get Zakid's story. His story was pretty lackluster because he couldn't identify any of the people versus other than guy,
Bags.
material. He's trying to sell materials, and then group 6 workers. So, however, he stated that the group 6 workers pulled out their knives first.
Okay.
And then there was comments about the police being across the street, which would have been you, and that a non-group 6 worker tried to help the individual who was being held up by the knives from the group 6 workers. Needless to say, this story that I'm telling you about, which I'll give you better once I get a chance to write it better, but I am inclined to believe it because this vehicle here, this Glendale, which I believe is one of the individuals that was injured.
This was the group 6 people, and they were selling materials to the individual that was just in that alleyway.
Okay, the guy in this vehicle?
Yep. He was in a group 6 outfit, right?
I would have to look at him again. I just pulled this car over with this individual, and he told me he was selling materials and that he was heading to go sell material.
Yep, correct.
So I am inclined to believe. I would have to look at him again. His name is
Well, they're both injured at the hospital.
Honda.
Back. Good luck,
Okay,
guys.
sure. But either way, I'm inclined to believe this guy had materials and was selling materials because he literally just
Yep.
told me that's what he was headed to go do when I pulled him over the traffic stop. So, if he's in a Group 6 uniform, then I believe that. So, and he did tell me he had a knife on him during the traffic stop because I did ask him about a weapon. So I'm inclined to believe that he pulled out his knife first, and that he probably wasn't at a threat, and he was pulling it out because of his possession, and not because his life was in danger.
Correct.
So I'm inclined to believe that that is factual, based on all of the stuff I know.
So I can give you a TLDR. Mr. Cunningham, the guy that I just released in the alleyway, was here to purchase materials from the guy in this Glendale. From my understanding, there was 2 of them. There was at least 2 Group 6 people. I don't know if they were both together. I assume they were, but was there only one person in your traffic stop?
But he had a phone call. He was meeting a friend, or he was saying he was going to bed. But he was alone, and he kept getting phone calls.
Okay, so the TLDR is that Mr. Cunningham goes to the back of this vehicle. He was originally told that the guy had about 600 materials to sell, but he didn't want to sell the entire thing. So when he arrived, Mr. Cunningham was in the back of the trunk grabbing materials when someone reached over his shoulder and was grabbing materials from the trunk. And the 2 people in close proximity were the individual in the white shirt who got stabbed, but is also responsible for wrenching the 2 people. But from my understanding, he did it in self-defense because the individuals pulled the knife suspecting he was the one who stole materials. Then Mr. Cunningham pulled his wrench and beat the guy with the knife, or not the knife, the wrench, because he had just beat down 2 others and was
No parking here. This is an active crime scene. Please park down the street.
okay.
Back in the vehicle.
Okay.
Park down the street for me, please.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, I'm gonna
Thank
head over to the
you.
hospital
Let's just
and
get
get
the
with
fuck outta
Watt.
here.
Yeah.
Get out of
All right, 13076 to the hospital. Well, I'm on the way. Apologies for the delay. There's just a million things.
Oh, yep, that's your car.
Check. Give me 1 second, actually. All right.
So you apply for PD again? Or still?
Yeah, I'm just waiting to hear back from PD, that's all.
Are you good, Habibi? You got caught in the crossfire, man.
Yeah, I'm good.
All right. Well, I'm
A bit
sorry.
of a headache, but no worries.
All right.
I'm
Did
just
you get a
gonna
statement
finish
from
this
both of
real
them,
quick.
or?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
perfect.
I'm writing it down already. It's if you look at the report, it should be there.
What's the update, officers? What are you guys thinking?
Oh, we'll tell you in a second, sir. Okay.
Jesus Christ.
Um.
Am I allowed to go in there? My friend got stabbed.
All right. Give me 1 moment.
Okay. Is this is this gonna take a while?
Okay.
It's dependent on how long it takes to take statements and conduct an investigation.
Sorry, sir. How can I help you? What do you need help with?
Well,
Are you waiting for someone that's here that's currently being detained?
yeah,
Who are you waiting for?
Mick.
Okay. So, what is he wearing? What does he look like?
He's wearing like a Group 6 uniform.
Perfect. Yeah, they're currently detained. Possibly, we're trying to figure out the situation, taking statements. This could be another 30 minutes or so, sir. So, what my best suggestion for you is to.
Hey, River. How you doing?
Oh, look, it is my mentor. How have
How
you
are
been?
you?
Maybe not so good, man. I got smacked up by one of my employees there. Who I'm pretty sure is doing some things under the books. If you're picking up what I'm putting down.
Ooh. I have a question.
Go for it.
You wouldn't happen to have any materials or anything on your person,
Go ahead and
right?
search me. The only thing I have
Thank
is the large floor
God.
and medium floor for the renovations.
Thank God. Okay. I just wanted to verify because
No, of course.
Unfortunately,
That's
not
what
that
I wanted, the
not that
officer
it
to
makes
check.
it okay. Because legally it's still not, but from my understanding, this stemmed from them suspecting you of having taken materials.
Quite the escalation, right? Pulls out a knife for that.
Trust me, I know. Wait until they
That's why I'm
find
taking
out.
him to court, Rhodes. Remember me in court? You're gonna see it again.
Yeah, wait until they
But,
find
it's
out. They
been 5
can't,
years.
you know, they can't be pulling knives for the theft of property.
Wait till they find out I'm firing that guy as soon as I get back to the office.
Ooh, well,
yeah.
It is what it is at that point. Okay.
I mean, I'm wondering if between all of us, right? You know, ex-cop to current cop, should I wait until after the trial to fire him? That'd probably be more legitimate, right?
I'm gonna be real. If you feel that they are not a good fit, I don't know that the timing matters, to be honest.
Perfect. Perfect. Anyways, I'm sorry for bothering you guys with all this, right? I apologize.
No, you're good. You're good. I do have a question, and I'm not sure if this is something that had been asked of you already.
Go for it.
Again, from my understanding, a lot of this stemmed from the suspected theft of materials. That being said, the reason that, from my understanding, they suspected you was because of your proximity to whatever vehicle these materials were in at the time.
We were about 2 to 3 feet away from the trunk, all three of us.
So, from my understanding, what had occurred was the individual who was purchasing materials was grabbing materials, and while they were grabbing materials, someone sort of reached over their shoulder, grabbed materials, and then when they turned around, they saw you and one other person in the immediate vicinity.
Yeah, nobody did that. You know what I think happened?
What?
I think the one dude tried to take advantage. The 3 other people were there, took the materials, and tried blaming it on somebody else. Right?
He was searched. He didn't have anything beyond what he said he took. That's
then I'm
the
not
concerning
sure.
part.
But yeah, none of us would take materials roads, right? You know, I'm currently trying to become a cop again. That doesn't make sense for me.
Right.
William being there, he works at Group 6. Beef, he wouldn't hurt a fly. He is he's
Beef
a soulless
has punched
wonder,
me in the
that
past.
one.
I think he's changed, but he has
Wait,
punched me in the.
you?
What? He punched you?
Yeah, I
That
was
guy?
trying to.
We're
Beef,
talking about the homeless guy, right?
who talks about his foreskin all the time.
Wait, what?
Wait, he does. Does he not do
I've
that
never
with
heard
you?
of any of this. What the fuck?
90% of his conversation today was. Never mind. I'm gonna drop it then.
Yeah,
Okay.
he
no.
Well,
I
you
never
heard it,
heard
right?
that.
Foreskin, yeah.
Thank you.
Wait,
Okay,
what?
I'm not going
Are you guys
crazy.
fucking with me right now?
No, I'm.
We gaslighting?
No.
Okay.
No, I was taking a statement from James Randall one day in front of the hospital. I couldn't even get 15 seconds of uninterrupted statement, and then he punched me and was like, "Run, Mr. Randall, run!"
No,
and then
he
punched
didn't.
me.
No,
Yes,
he
he
didn't.
did.
What the fuck?
God.
I thought this guy was like.
but I searched him. He didn't have anything.
completely
You know.
good.
But well, I think I don't know. Maybe he was under the influence at the time. Who knows?
Yeah,
Irrelevant at this point. But
fair enough. Anyways, I apologize.
Yeah,
No, but I
genuinely,
definitely
don't
wasn't
know.
taking any material. I thought that guy was pretty ballsy, pulling out a knife when there was a cop right behind him.
Yeah. So
Do you guys know what cop was over there? Maybe they
It was
seen some of
me.
it as well.
It
Oh,
was me.
you.
Yes,
Perfect.
but I was too busy. I was focused on something
Oh,
else
damn.
completely. The
I was gonna be
guy
like-
who hit you, because okay, to be fair, he didn't. All he saw was you beating up one dude or the two guys. And then he said you ran over in his direction, so he hit you with the wrench.
No, that's not what happened, Rose. So
Okay.
the guy with the knife, he pulls it out, right? I actually
Okay.
said it in my statement. And then I'm like, look, there's a cop behind you, and I'm your Group 6 manager. Like, what are you doing? He turns around, I take a step back, I pull out my wrench. He tries to swing his knife, fails. I wrench him. Then his buddy's like, just looks at me, pulls out his wrench, starts chasing me. And while he's chasing me, I try to hit him and miss and hit the one dude that was chilling with us all day. That one Group 6 employee.
Oh,
So he got hit in
okay.
the crossfire. Yeah, that dude's lying to you. Right?
Okay. And so the guy who ends up hitting you,
he was still up, yeah.
Okay.
That was Sai.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the one guy was with us. The one Group 6 that was selling materials and the other dude were together. So there should have been 4 versus 2 of them there. But
So there's
I can
Sai who
handle
was buying
myself.
materials. You're saying was it your friend selling materials?
No,
Or
we were. We
It was
came
you and your
innocently
friend
trying to
Sai
cash
and
out
the
a
other
paycheck.
guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I
got
see
it.
that it was
So
one of
there's
my
two-
Group 6 employees with a Glendale with a trunk popped open. Recently, we've had a lot of people take bags and sell them. And to be honest, I'm trying to get on the force again. So if I can catch that, boom, that's going to be a good in for me, right? Imagine catching someone doing fraud at that level.
I mean, not wrong, but
But
okay.
yeah, no, I didn't do anything
Okay.
wrong there. That's what made me think that maybe they were up to something illegal, because why else did we escalate to a knife so fast? You know what I'm saying?
Now,
okay,
so
yeah, go ahead.
while I do understand, Mr. River, that he threatened you with a knife.
When he
Also,
points a
sir-
knife in my direction, steps away, like, I was kind of fearful. The only thing I could do is use a wrench. There was 2 guys there, one with a wrench, one with a knife. Right? The wrench guy was on the other side, though, so I wasn't that worried. Right? And then I was hoping, right, that if anything were to go down, we had other people there that would be able to defend themselves and maybe defend me from getting completely fucked up.
You could have also yelled over to Rhodes on the other side of the road.
Well,
I'm gonna
really,
be real. I was
there
in a
wasn't
group
enough
of like
time. I'm
10
gonna be
fucking
real, and
people.
plus he was like a
They were
little
already
bit away.
screaming.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and he was
I
surrounded
was
by
completely
no offense, 6
across the
people,
street.
7 people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Listen, I can't wait to take this to court. Not against you guys. I know I'm not. Well, I hope I'm not being charged, but civilly with those guys, right? Because I'm going to take them for every dollar they have.
Okay.
Right? Because I'm feeling very distressed right now. I don't know if I'm going to be able to return to work. I'm the Group 6 manager. You know, it costs a lot of money to pay me there.
So, Mr.
We're talking
River,
about a lot of lost
I have a
revenue.
question.
Yep.
So you said there was a total of 3 people around that vehicle, right? And so
there was 2 people at the trunk, those 2, and us 4 just walked over because we're all going into the bank together to cash out a paycheck to go and buy more floors because we found out you need 2 floors for what we were trying to do schematically.
Okay, got it.
And I only bought 1 like an idiot because you think about it, when you need a microwave, you only need 1 microwave, not 2, right?
Well, it depends on the amount of flooring you
And
need.
then I don't know if you
depends
guys
on your
take a
floor
look.
plan,
Feel
yeah.
free, you can search me, give full consent. I got a medium one and a large one, not realizing I needed 2 large ones, so that's why we were going to the bank because I screwed up. Yeah, so that's why I got a medium and a large on me.
Pay with your card over there at U-Tool?
Yeah, but that's why we need to go to the bank to get a paycheck, right? So we're checking out Fleeka, see if we can get a paycheck there. But it turns out just like 5
Bay
years ago,
City.
right? 1 central location, so it was Bay City, exactly.
Yep, you got to go to Bay City. So
Yeah, I was just
my
hoping that the
question for
network
you,
updated.
so there's a lot of confusion because when I arrive, I see 2 people dressed as Group 6 employees, right? Both of which are down. You're down.
Both are, yeah.
So I was under the assumption originally that the person selling materials had a friend in the car with them. But that's not the case. One of them was your friend.
Yeah, one of them is our friend
other
that
person
came from renovating because I needed help renovating, right?
Got
I'm
it,
like,
got it.
not a big guy, so 4 guys there
talk
to
to
help
you,
me
Rhodes,
put
real
down that
quick?
floor.
Yeah.
We were good.
Let's have a bit of a
All right.
conversation.
Oh, I'm sorry there, pals. Yep. How are you guys doing over there? Good.
All right, so this is what I found out from the other.
Oh,
two
before
guys,
you
right?
continue, this is important. It sort of adds to the story. Alice pulled over the driver of the Glendale, which was
Yeah,
the
I know.
individual.
Yeah,
Okay.
he told me about that. Yeah.
Okay. So again, I only found out that the Group 6 people were not together, even though I thought they were originally, because Alice said now the dude was alone. So okay, we're good on that front. All right, what's up?
So this is what I found out. Okay, there's one Mr. Thorne, which is gonna be the Group 6 guy without the vest. Yep. He was with Beef, and the other guy that you were telling to get off the scene. Remember the guy that that wasn't listening to you, and you were
Yeah.
yelling? He was dressed in green or something.
Yes.
So them 3 were together. They were like they drove to the bank. Now I don't know. Mr. Rivers says that he was with them, but didn't tell me that he was with them, which is very interesting. Did Beef say they were together?
Hold on. So Beef said he witnessed everything sort of transpire. He said the guy I met earlier in the suspenders, which was River, the guy in there, was talking to someone in a uniform. They couldn't exactly say or hear what they were saying. Then the man in the green vest took out a knife, and the guy in suspenders made it clear that he's a Group 6 manager, just trying to make sure that they weren't trying to take anything, and that they're making a big mistake. And then he didn't necessarily say he knew exactly who struck who, but there was sort of a melee fight that broke out. But yeah, that's all I got from Beef. Having a conversation with Beef's a little difficult, and be real.
Yeah,
like I said,
goddamn foreskin all the time.
yeah. And listen, when I went to go search him, he was like, "Hey, listen, you can search me, just don't touch my cock." And I was like, "You ain't got nothing to worry about. Trust me. We're good. We're good."
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You can't cup a feel. That's for sure.
Yeah. But the important bit is that he did indicate, the guy I met earlier in suspenders, which is Rivers. He didn't necessarily say that they were together, but I don't know why he would indicate, specifically, unless they were together earlier. I don't know. It's weird.
weird situation. So from my point of from what I've heard, right? I took Cy Cunningham's statement as well.
Yep.
I don't know if you talked to him.
I did, yes.
So Cy said he was there to buy materials, right? And he's meeting this guy, the group's 6 guy with the vest. His name is Meher, right? He's meeting him at the bank to check what he's got so he can pay him. So they can do a bank transfer and not deal in cash.
Right.
So while they're checking inside the trunk, the items inside there, he says somebody probably reached over my shoulder,
Yep.
and the items disappeared.
Got it.
Both Cunningham and Meher claimed that the only person that was in immediate vicinity was Mr. Rivers.
He also indicated
Mr. Meher
Green
says-
Jacket too, which was Beef.
Yeah, Beef.
Yep,
Well,
but I
Mr.
searched
Meher
him.
says the only person that was close enough to reach in the trunk is Mr. Rivers. That he was so close that he bumped into him, basically.
But it's not even a possibility because he got beat down. He got hit by a wrench by Cy, and he didn't have materials on him.
Wait, so listen to the story until the end, okay? So then he basically he doesn't. I asked him if he pulled out a knife. Says he pleaded the fifth.
I mean, we already have several statements indicating.
I mean, we have several statements
He's in the
indicating. Okay, so the guy that was beat down next to him, the other Group 6 guy, said that Mr. Meher pulled out a knife and that he saw him in a position where he was getting ready to launch forward and stab Mr. River. Right. At that point, Mr. River had a wrench out and he just hit Mr. Meher with a wrench. Now the Group 6 guy without a vest didn't really know what was going on as he had just arrived on site with Beef and the other guy that we kind of told to get off scene.
Mm-hmm. And I was told the guy you're talking about, not Maher or however his name's pronounced, the other Group 6 employee,
that guy's name is Thorn.
Thorn was unfortunately an unintended hit, from my understanding.
Yes. He was collateral damage in between. That's as far as I know. That's correct from everybody that I spoke to. Even Mr. Meher claims so, right? Now, Mr. Meher does claim that at some point Mr. Rivers had his hands up and was saying, "Hey, you can search me, but just keep in mind there's a cop. There's a cop on the other side of the street. Do you really want to escalate this?" He got very defensive when asked if he took the materials.
Got it. But I mean, if he had taken the materials, why would he be putting his hands up and telling, like, you'd make a big fuss? But the fact, if that statement had come from someone else, I wouldn't have necessarily believed it. But if the guy who pulled the knife and got hit by a wrench is the one stating he had his hands up and said you could search me, that to me is telling me that River 100% did not take anything. In addition, if only River, Cy, and Beef were the ones suspected, don't get me wrong, there was some downtime between my response, but Beef was on the sidewalk and we detained him fairly quickly. He agreed to a search and he had nothing. So who the fuck took it if it wasn't any of the people next to...
I'm gonna ask Mr. Meher if he's willing.
It could have
to let me
happened at
pat him
another
down and
location
see
and they
what
just hadn't noticed that the materials were missing until that point. As well.
No,
because he was
Mr.
in the
Cunningham
trunk.
said he was in the trunk.
He was in the trunk, and that's when the stuff got pulled. Well, he said he took about 200 some odd materials. He said originally the guy selling materials indicated there was about 600, but he didn't want to sell them all. So he took a roughly 200 some odd materials. And then the other ones got taken over his shoulder. But when he looked, there was only those people nearby. But if someone swooped in real quick, they could probably get some fairly good distance before he realized. I don't know.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm gonna ask Mr. Meher if he's gonna consent to a search so we can check if he might have taken the materials himself. I have him on it.
Yeah,
and he might be lying.
I think that's appropriate.
Okay. Now when it comes to the hitting each other and knives and all that kind of stuff, it's he said, she said in this situation. Not
Well,
really much we can do about that.
I actually think Maher's wrong here. He should never have pulled the knife over stolen property.
He should have never pulled out a knife.
So technically, he didn't use the knife to actually stab someone yet.
Please.
Oh, what's going on?
My leg's broken. My ribs are
Okay.
cracked.
All right. I'll let you. I'll bring this individual in. Hold on. All right. Let me bring you in.
Ow.
Ow.
Oh, you got what happened?
I slammed my head on the trunk.
Oh no.
I got
Okay.
hit by a car.
Oh my God. Hold up. Wait a minute. All right. I'm gonna place you on this bed right over here. Okay.
Okay.
Here we go. Ooh,
I didn't do it.
There
I
we
wasn't
are.
driving for this time.
okay. All right.
Wasn't him driving this time.
Hello.
That's what I'm saying.
All right.
Why
I
didn't you
got hit
not
by
call
a
for
car.
EMS?
And then our car hit.
Yeah, I'm literally laying here in the bed, JJ. You could have called me. Come and help me.
He shouldn't be pulling out a knife on people just because he thinks that they robbed him. That's a very bad idea, and then results in this, and what happened.
Yeah, you just need to inform him the legislation. It's
Yep.
not council doctrine. He cannot defend his property. He can only defend himself.
Yep.
It's that
Okay,
cut and dry.
I'm gonna go cut those guys loose. I'm gonna search Mr. Meher just to see if he has any materials on him, and if he does, at that point,
I
don't know
suspect him to have
He should
some
materials. He
because
should have
he.
the ones they have.
Well, no, because they were all in the trunk.
They were all in the trunk. He didn't have them on him.
But here's the thing: the reason I suspect he would have materials is because Sai told me he said he had around 600, but he wasn't willing to sell them all. But I don't know if that meant that there was some on his person. I don't know if that meant that, what if he was the one who was like, you know what, Sai took 200. I think that's the most I'm trying to sell. I'll take the rest out of my trunk. And then Sai looks back, thinks something's wrong. He hears, or Mayor hears that. He then turns around and is like, they took it, not realizing Sai was the one to take around 200 of them. I don't know. That's a possibility, right?
That's a possibility.
Let's go. Let's go ask.
Miscommunication.
Oh, jeez.
Miscommunication leads.
Let's cut Mr. Thorne loose because.
All right. Yeah.
Mr. Thorne, we're gonna cut you loose for this time.
Appreciate that.
Before you go, could I please see your ID real quick, just to make sure it's you?
100%.
Give me a different name.
There you go.
Officer 113.
Yeah, what's up?
All right, sir. You're gonna be free to go. Please exit through that
They're gonna
door.
speak to you about whatever
I'm
it is.
guessing your friends might be waiting for you in the
and if
lobby
they
if
have
you
some
want to check.
questions or something along
All right,
those lines,
appreciate you guys.
Have a good day.
Good
Sorry you
luck
got
with your
mixed up in this.
investigation.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Doors
Am I
locked.
keeping River?
Oop.
Thank you.
Yeah, for just a moment.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello, man.
Gotta
My hands are
ask
getting
you-
numb, man.
Well, you'll be out of cuffs in a second.
Thank you,
I gotta ask you some questions for a little bit of clarification. So when you were dealing with Mr. Cunningham, were you selling him all of your materials or just some?
All of my Wait, what? No, not all of them technically. No.
Do you have any materials on you at this point in time? Did you take any materials out of your trunk?
Someone's
yourself?
shouting. What's going on?
It's fine. He's
Oh shit.
I wasn't gonna sell everything 'cause some people for myself. But
Mm-hmm.
we were still discussing the deal, right? I could have sold them everything. I could have not sold them everything.
okay. So
I don't see what your question
did you
is.
take any of the materials out of your trunk yourself?
Yeah, once I saw people were grabbing stuff, I grabbed what's left over, you know?
Okay.
Oh no.
As in, like, per how much you can remember how much materials went missing when they were in the trunk? Would it be
maybe
about
like
around 200?
Around maybe two. Wait, that's kind of a leading question, Habib, but yeah, around 200.
Oh
Okay, so
no.
now this is what happened,
He
right?
took his own
You saw the
material.
materials probably
Oh,
being
no.
taken. It was Mr. Cunningham that took them, okay? And he was gonna pay you
What?
for it because that's what he was gonna buy.
Uh-huh.
And you noticed that, and then you grabbed the other stuff, and that's what.
So then
saw,
he.
and
Oh my
then he
gosh.
thought that Mr. River, you both thought that Mr. River probably stole the materials out of your trunk.
Oh no.
So, Mr. River
no.
does not have any materials on him, sir. Nobody in the vicinity had any materials
Yeah,
on
but
them. It was just gonna be you,
I
and
know,
Mr.
but like, what's
Cunningham.
I understand the officer, and I get that now. That is just a big misunderstanding, but that's not related to what we're here, or is it?
Well, it is. It's all one big sort of overarching situation because I'll explain. Just as Watt said, what actually occurred here was you were selling materials, right?
Yes.
You roll up in the Glendale, and Mr. Cunningham, the individual purchasing the materials, was in the trunk. From my understanding, he indicated that you didn't intend on selling all of them, though he was grabbing what he wanted from the trunk that he was going to purchase from you, because you didn't give an exact amount as to how many you were going to sell. So he was taking them out of the trunk. While he was doing that, I don't know if he said something. I don't know if you said anything, but he then realized that the remainder of the materials went missing. Someone had reached over his shoulder to grab them.
Yeah.
Unbeknownst to him, it was you, but when he looks, he turns around and sees the individual in the white shirt and suspenders in the area, alongside Beef, the individual with the green coat, hippie-looking guy, right? So then, because Mr. Cunningham took the materials that he was going to purchase from you from the trunk, you suspected, obviously, someone had taken them.
Exactly.
And this is all one sort of big misunderstanding where nothing was actually stolen. From my understanding, Mr. Cunningham has roughly about 200 or so of your materials.
That's
you should
probably-
contact
that's probably,
him. But nothing was actually taken. And then the concerning bit here that we do need to sort of clarify is the pulling of the knife. The problem here is that in the past, we're talking many years ago, the stand your ground concept or castle doctrine, however you'd like to term it, used to cover the protection of property. It no longer does. Essentially, unless your life is actually at risk, no one should be hurt. No one should really be pulling any sort of weapons or anything. I mean,
I
obviously,
think I'm the one
you
who
can.
got bonked in the head, Habibi.
I understand, but you also had pulled a knife in sort
Who
of an
said that?
aggressive manner, from my understanding.
Everybody that we spoke to,
literally
in the
everybody,
situation,
including
they saw you
uninvolved
with a
people.
knife out. And I can actually say that one individual even said that you were getting ready to lounge at Mr. River and stab.
And ready to launch.
Yeah.
Habibi, in my statement, right? He pulled his hands up, right? And I told him, I don't.
I wrote that in your statement. While
Oh,
I completely
okay.
understand that,
All right.
okay. I
So,
did ask you if you wanted to pull out if you pulled out a knife, you plead the fifth, okay?
That is true.
So here's
Now-
the thing.
And I still plead the fifth on that one. But
Now-
yes, sir. Continue talking. Sorry.
The problematic bit here is that all of this seemingly stemmed from a miscommunication that got far more serious the moment weapons got pulled, right? Had that not have happened, y'all very likely would have been able to talk about what actually occurred.
100%. I agree with you. Honestly, I was just actually hoping the cops across the street was gonna ask someone to come here and come mediate this stuff. Does someone start bonking everyone?
That was me, but unfortunately, I had like 10 people yelling all in one area. I didn't realize what was going on until Mr. Cunningham approached me and said, "Hey, listen, people with knives and shit's going on back there." But Mr. Cunningham used a wrench. Mr. What's his face? Mr. River, the individual in the white shirt, also had a wrench. You were seemingly the only one with the knife there.
Yeah.
From my understanding. And so
I do own a knife, yes.
The problematic thing here is, had we have used words here, all of this likely would have been resolved, because the reality here is you sort of accused someone of taking something, even if it wasn't direct. I mean, to me, based on what I was told, it was seemingly direct.
Yeah.
But did you get your information from Mr. Cunningham in regards to the people in the vicinity? Or how did you assume, rather, that the individual in the white shirt?
The white individual in the white shirt, he literally, he was the closest one to me. He kept bumping into me. Like, imagine I'm opening the trunk, right? I'm putting my hands in. I'm counting the rubber. I'm like this 1, 2, whatever. I'm counting everything, right? and I see that a guy pulled out next to me. He literally bumps into my body, right? Like my body moves to the left
Got
a little
it.
bit. It nudges,
Right.
right? He's super close for absolutely no reason. Like he just walked up to me, right? No one called him. I don't know who this guy is, all that stuff. And yeah, he just bumps into me, and then I start seeing stuff missing, and now I'm getting worried, right? I'm like, if you took the stuff, I don't want to check your pockets. I'm not gonna check your pockets. He put his hands up, right? I don't want to check his pockets. I don't really care about that. Just I told him, if you took the shit, just put it back, please. That's it. I don't want to go check his pockets. I don't want to escalate everything. He was saying, "Are you sure there are cops across the street?" I'm like, bro, I wish the cops would come here and mediate everything, because at the end of the day, I don't want to. I don't really care. I don't want to escalate anything.
Right.
Then someone starts swinging. Like I'm like, what the fuck? Is it really gonna start swinging over this? You know?
Who started swinging?
Him, the white shirt guy. He was saying, "Oh my god, I'm a Group 6 manager. I'm gonna get you fired." I'm like, bro, do your thing, man. I don't give a shit. Just put the materials back if you took them. And
When you say start swinging, are you mean like verbal swinging, like he's telling you shit, or like physically swinging?
So he had his hands up, right? Correct.
Okay,
officer?
right. You indicated
Did
that.
he say that? Did he say?
I wasn't the one who asked him questions, unfortunately, so I don't have that answer for you.
I'm not too sure if the statements. You could probably ask every single witness there. Did he have his hands up? He did have his hands up, and I told him verbatim, "I'm not gonna check your pockets. Just if you took the materials, put them back in the trunk." Right? I didn't want to go up to him and hold him up with the fucking hands up and whatever, and I just check his pockets and shit. I don't want to escalate like that. I just told him, if you have your shit, put it back. Simple as.
Right.
And then he kept screaming and like getting more angry and saying, "I'm a G6 manager. I'm gonna get you fired." And I'm like, "Okay, dude, cool." And then he didn't like that reaction, I guess, and he pulled out a wrench while from his hands up. Right, he put his hands down. He pulled out a wrench, started doing like fucking running around.
Now, be honest. Did you already have a knife out at this point with the wrench?
I mean, he had a wrench out, or what?
Well, I'm going to be real with you. Every party involved indicated that you had pulled the knife first.
Okay.
How's it going?
Is that what actually occurred?
Okay.
I plead the fifth.
She's not okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Correct.
But that's what happened from my POV. He had his hands up. I told him, "I don't want to check your pockets. Just put them back if you had them." And then he said, "Oh, you're a G6 worker. I'm gonna get you fired. There are officers across the street." And I'm like, "Bro, I wish the officer would come here." He doesn't put anything. He just starts. He reaches for his wrench, does a little circle around, beats my ass, and I go into the floor. I hear someone else get beaten down. I'm not sure who. Then I heard another person get beaten down. So, yeah, I'm not too sure because I was on the floor at that time.
Got it. Okay. All right. Give me a moment. Alice, if I could grab you.
It's just, rights are a big thing. Rhodes, I will get my lawyer to contact you.
All right. Yeah. I mean, unfortunately, I didn't witness much, but obviously, I was.
No, I mean for the report number.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah,
I'll make sure that
criminally
it's filled
we're
out.
not going to be able to charge anybody in this situation. But if you want to do a civil suit, that's.
Well, yeah, no, it's going. I told Rhodes it's probably what's going to happen, so I'm going to be doing a civil suit for justice.
You know what? Good on you, because very few people are willing to. I imagine Watt here explained what actually occurred.
Yeah, I didn't get to that part.
Oh my god!
Because this was a very unfortunate series of events.
Came in there, right? And then decided that I was abrasive, I guess, because I asked for a beverage, and then she just grabbed a water bottle and was trying to pour it down my throat.
Oh shit! Sorry.
Right.
All right.
I didn't want to get waterboarded. I can't judge the amount of water that's going down, right? So I was like, no, like of course not. And then I told her just judge the room, right? Risk assessment. Both doors are locked. I'm handcuffed. You can handcuff me to the bed, and I can drink. But no, I guess I was abrasive. And then also, because, well, obviously I used to be a cop. I got told things changed and they're not the way they used to be, etc., which is okay. But, laws and rights as a human are kind of still the same. So I don't know. I don't really care, but I just feel bad that she thought I was abrasive.
Well, I'm
right because I felt like an animal locked in a cage in there, right? So I apologize.
I understand. So, you can finish up with the explaining.
Okay. Yeah, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, you're good.
What happened, sir, was a very a big series of unfortunate events that unfolded one after the other. Now, Mr. Mayer, which is the guy that threatened you with a knife, and Mr.
Yep.
Cunningham, who was buying materials from him, were looking inside the trunk, kind of trying to see what materials were being sold and how much of it was, making a little bit of inventory. When and then Mr. Cunningham said, "Okay, I'm gonna get this." So he took some materials out. At that point, Mr. Mayer thought somebody was taking materials out of the trunk, which wasn't one of them two, and took the other materials out. At that point, Mr. Cunningham probably thought the same since he saw such a large amount of materials just vanish. Okay, somebody reach in and grab them. You're the only person in the proximity of it, so they both, instead of communicating, "Hey, I took this and I took this," they thought you stole the materials, and that's why Mr. Mayor pulled a knife out on you.
Right, brandishing a weapon in public over a dispute that they thought, even though it wasn't, even though
Exactly,
even though it was over that, right? Stand your ground no longer protects property. Am I right, fellas?
Exactly,
You're
yep,
correct.
there's no
You're correct.
Okay,
castle
so with that
doctrine.
being said, and he brandished a weapon, right? He admitted to brandishing that weapon.
He didn't admit to it,
No,
though.
it's the only question
No.
he's pleading the fifth to.
Damn. Right.
Though we have many witness statements indicating that that is the case. So
Yeah, so my only question is between us, right?
Mhm.
Were you guys able to get the statement from William, or he wasn't around?
Hey, officer, hope you're having a good day.
Yeah. I'm also
No.
hoping that too.
William?
Statement from
Please,
who?
I hope William comes in. William Bean. Because as long as we got William Bean's statement, that it's beef, right? As long as we got Beef's statement as well.
Beef.
Yeah.
He didn't really.
He didn't help.
His state. Remember how we very clearly have different
Perceptions
of beef.
Oh wait, was he talking about foreskin and stuff with you?
Yes.
No.
80. I know I said 90% earlier, but genuinely,
this isn't gonna look good in civil court, is it?
beef isn't going to be of much
we got
use.
No reliable other statements. It's just my It's just a he said, she said.
You have my sworn statement, which helps you out, sir, because he did say
true.
that Mr. Mayor pulled out a knife and he was getting ready to get at you and stab you. That's what he said.
Okay, well, that will help.
So
I just appreciate you guys being so fast, friendly, and efficient on that. You guys were very prompt, very prompt. I want to say
you.
that. Right, it was good to see.
Here's the thing: we likely could push brandishing of a non-firearm. However, the issue comes into play. Okay, if he had struck you, slashed you, stabbed you, something with the knife, 100% at that point we could push assault with a deadly weapon on the basis of there being a lack of reason or justification behind the use of the weapon, right? Unfortunately, what we can't prove beyond a reasonable doubt is that we can prove he brandished a non-firearm, right, based on statements, but we can't do much beyond that because everything after that, like you, from my understanding, took a step back, pulled your wrench. Now he is going to argue he tried stabbing you in self-defense as a result.
Well,
and his argument's going to be, well, I didn't stab him originally. The only reason I did it was because he pulled, right? And then we're back at a he said, she said.
Well, it's like the knife is deadly within 21 feet, right? Well, I don't know if we still are all aware of that, but so with that being said, right? I was restricted. I had no movement.
Mm-hmm.
However, when he turned around, I was able to take a step back and pull out the wrench. He didn't have enough time to really do anything to realize what was going on, right?
Yep.
So that's the only reason why I hit him because, well,
someone pulls a knife on you, obviously, but for us applying it to the whole stand your ground concept, we wouldn't be able to push assault with a deadly unless
wait. That's William right there. Did you get his statement? Never mind, it doesn't matter.
So applying it to the whole stand your ground concept, because again, it doesn't cover property, he would have been improper in stabbing you as a result. But from my understanding, he didn't until you had a weapon pulled, and now his entire story is going to change to I only did it because he pulled a weapon, even though he already had a weapon out. So yes, I firmly believe we have enough to push brandishing of a non-firearm. I unfortunately don't believe we would have enough to push assault with a deadly, which would be the normal charge associated if he had stabbed you as a result of the perception of you having stole property. There's a lot of nuance to this, unfortunately, and it
No,
comes
I
down
understand.
to, because you can be handed, you've been an officer before, you can be handed a situation, and even if the end result is the same, if it's not articulated properly, it can
Yep.
be deemed invalid or illegal, right?
Correct.
Same thing here. Because he technically, from my understanding, did not, swing first, or at least, there aren't many witness statements indicating he swung first or anything.
Noted. Yep.
Because you then pull a weapon, his entire story changes from, I acted in defense of myself because the person pulled a weapon, even though you pulled a weapon because they pulled a weapon, right?
No, I
But the
get
story changes from protection of property to protection of themselves.
I
Not
stand
that
by
it's
and trust
valid,
anything
to be
you say,
clear.
Rhodes. You are, well, you already know how I feel about you, okay?
I appreciate
when
that.
it comes to officers and role models and someone to look up to, I mean, for years you've been that guy for me, right?
Oh, I
It
appreciate
goes back to you teaching me how to be petty. And then taking me to my first
By the way,
court
the
case.
reason I was not there was because I was across the street trying to cite someone for jaywalking.
That's fucking awesome.
Okay. So
All right.
I
what
feel
I'm
like
gonna
Rhodes
do?
got finger baited on the other side of the street. I'm just gonna say that.
Yeah, not wrong. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to I think I'm going to take the individual in, charge with brandishing a non-firearm. It's a misdemeanor. It'll likely be a slap on the wrist. Take their mugshot, release them on time served. Is likely going to be what I'm going to do. Just because, again, I can't prove beyond a reasonable doubt the assault of the deadly, given the circumstances and how it played
Even
out.
just that for me, that makes me feel like justice today has been served, Rhodes.
Perfect. I'll go ahead and do that. Watt, thank you so much for all the help. If you wouldn't mind just making sure those reports are in the MDT in the report. And then River.
Then I'll get my lawyer to contact you.
I'm just writing side cutting
For the
statement right
report,
now.
the FOIA.
Bring it in there.
All right, sounds good. I'm gonna go take care of the individual in here.
Am I free to go, guys?
Yes.
Thank you. I'm sorry for holding you guys up. I appreciate all of you.
All right. Mr. Mayor, is that how it's pronounced?
Yeah, you can call me Honda though. What's your name, Habibi?
Call you what? Sorry, I didn't catch that.
Honda, like the car.
Honda?
Vroom,
Okay.
vroom. Yeah.
Honda.
What's your
So,
name?
I'm Officer Matt Rhodes.
Nice to meet you, Mr. Rhodes.
I have some bad news.
Yeah.
Some middle of the road news.
Okay, we're improving.
So, have you been read your rights?
Not once. Nope.
Okay.
I
Well,
asked them a
okay.
couple
Well,
times,
I'll make sure we're all on the same page here. So at this point in time, you do the right to remain silent. Anything you say or do can and will be against you in the court of law. You do have the right to an attorney during any and all questioning, and if you can't afford one to be provided by state if available. You understand these rights as I read them to you today?
Yes, sir. Yes, Mr. Matt.
Okay, so we're going primarily on witness statements here about the situation that occurred. Okay, and I know previously you had pled the fifth regarding whether or not you had pulled the knife.
Yes, sir.
We know you pulled the knife given the amount of witness statements. I don't know if you realized I was right across the street, and even individuals there who were completely uninvolved in the situation indicated that you had pulled the knife first. Here's the reality. There is a charge associated with what you did, which is brandishing a non-firearm, but the good news is it's just a misdemeanor and it's not anything serious in the grand scheme of things.
Oh my God.
We
Is
can
that the middle of the road news?
pretty much, because we can very clearly acknowledge what happened here stemmed from a misunderstanding, and had the knife not have been pulled, all of this likely could have been avoided. Okay. The reality here is, the moment you pulled the knife, right, the person on the opposing side at their first opportunity to defend themselves did, right? And so at this point, it no longer becomes the sort of protection of property, because again, as we explained earlier, protection of property is no longer a concept sort of allowed under stand your ground. So what I mean by that is, let's say you're doing group 6 deliveries, right? And an individual ran up to the back of your van, took your bags that were there and ran off, right? In the past, technically, you can defend yourself and your property. In this case, what you don't want to do is pull a weapon on these individuals. You can communicate with them, but what you really need to do is call 911 to allow us to handle the situation. Because if you don't, even if I know this sounds fucked up. This sounds terrible. If someone is stealing your car and